Hello, Ms. Clark. Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Awesome.
Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. Glad you're here. Glad you're on.
I made it.
Okay.
Okay. Doing the roll call?
I'm gonna repeat myself from earlier just
Okay.
to officially start the meeting again. Are you ready, Ms. Clark?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Thank you everybody again for your patience. We are live on GETV and also on the City of Gardner's YouTube channel. I'm going to call to order the Tuesday, February 16th, 2021 regular meeting of the Gardner City Council, and the clerk will please call the roll.
Councilor Boone?
Present.
Councilor Boudreaux?
You're muted, Counselor.
Councilor Boudreaux?
Present.
Okay. Councilor Craig Cormier?
Present.
Councilor Ronald Cormier?
Present.
Councilor Jenna Lowitz? Oh, is he? Did he say?
You're muted, Counselor.
Councilor Jenna Lowitz?
We can't hear you, Counselor.
Present.
Okay. Councilor Graves?
Present.
Councilor Harder?
Present.
Councilor Mack? He's not here. Councilor Tyros?
Present.
Councilor Walsh?
Present.
And President Kaczynskis.
Present. Counselor Mack did tell us ahead of time that she was not going to be at tonight's meeting. Please rise to recite the opening prayer and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Almighty God, we thank thee for bringing us together this evening, inspire us to worthy deeds and sound decisions, and direct us toward the attainment of good city government. We pray thee to protect all the people of our city, and to so guide and inspire us that we may deliberate in unity and harmony. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Announcement of open meeting recordings pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general law, chapter 30A. Section 20 in the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Gardner City Council will be conducted via remote participation and broadcast live on Gardner Educational Television Channel 8 and the Gardner City Hall YouTube channel. The audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings will be posted on the city's website as soon as possible after the meeting. Since this meeting is being conducted via Zoom, just a reminder that there will be a roll call vote on all motions. Reading of minutes of prior meetings. We'll begin with the reading and approval of the February 1st, 2021 regular meeting. Councilor Ron Cormier.
Madam President, I make a motion that we waive the reading of those minutes and have them accepted as presented.
Second the motion.
Motion made by Councilor Ron Cormier, seconded by Councilor Walsh to waive the reading of the minutes of the meeting and accept them as presented. Is there discussion on the motion? The clerk will please call the roll.
Councilor Boone?
Yes.
Councilor Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilor Craig Cormier?
Yes.
Councilor Ronald Cormier?
Yes.
Councilor Jenna Lowitz?
Yes.
Councilor Graves?
Yes.
Councilor Harder?
Yes.
Councilor Tyros?
Yes.
Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
President Kaczynskis?
Yes,
10 yeas.
the motion passes. Public hearings. Item number 10394, a petition by National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated to install one jointly owned pole on Manka Drive beginning at a point approximately 485 feet of the center line of the intersection of West Broadway and Manka Drive and continuing approximately 17 feet in an east direction, installing one jointly owned pole in the public way of Manka Drive for commercial service of 440 West Broadway. The public hearing is now open. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of the petition? I understand that National Grid is unable to attend tonight's public hearing as they informed the city clerk via email today that they are in storm restoration mode. We did receive their forwarded support of this petition from the city clerk today. And I would ask that the clerk please put those emails on record in the minutes of this meeting. And those were all forwarded to the city council. I'm going to read the correspondence. After reviewing the scope of the project, this is from National Grid, Vinny LaJudice. After reviewing the scope of the project, the existing business is upgrading their electrical service as well as going from overhead to underground. Their service is going to be fed from a pad mounted transformer on their property that will need to be fed from a new riser pole, which we will be installing also on their property. To bring service to this riser pole, we're asking permission to install a new 45-foot class 2 jointly owned pole 3 directly across from the new riser pole. And then their other correspondence. From National Grid was also, National Grid is petitioning for a service pole for Salvador Auto Exchange. This is a commercial relocation upgrade from 400 amps to 800 amps, 120/208 3pH. Currently overhead service changing to an underground service. Kindly request the town to approve the grant location for this local business. So that was testimony from National Grid and the representatives. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of the petition for the second time? Does anyone wish to speak in favor of the petition? And Ms. Clerk, was there any correspondence you received from the public? Any statements speaking in favor of the petition?
I haven't received anything from the public.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone present in opposition of the petition? Is there anyone present in opposition of the petition? Is there anyone present in opposition of the petition? And I just received confirmation from Bob O'Keefe that no members of the public had joined the Zoom meeting, either in favor or opposition. They haven't joined the Zoom meeting at all. We didn't expect any to, none had registered. And Ms. Clerk, just to confirm, was there any correspondence you received that was in opposition of the petition?
I didn't receive anything.
Thank you. Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Communications from the mayor. Orders, item number 10395, an order appropriating $265,000 from free cash to mayor's unclassified demo account. Councilor Walsh.
Yes, leading up to a motion, this item was previously on the council agenda and was referred to the council, to the finance committee. And before we had a chance to review it in any great detail, the mayor requested leave to withdraw for various reasons, and the council granted that motion for leave to withdraw. And now it's back on the agenda with some new information, but the council, the finance committee never really hasn't had the opportunity to consider this, and this was placed directly on the agenda after our scheduled meeting. The finance committee scheduled meeting was canceled because there was no business for it at that time. There were a number of issues I believe the finance committee wished to explore, including the city's responsibility for taking this down, the consequences of not taking it down legally, the ownership status of the property. All of those, I think, remain up in the air, and I think they both the finance committee and the law department should be involved in analyzing the issues that are raised by this project or potential project. So I move that the item be referred to the Finance Committee and the Law Department for further study and report.
Motion made by Counselor Walsh, seconded by Counselor Ron Cormier to refer item number 10395, in order appropriating $265,000 from free cash to mayor's unclassified building demo account to the Finance Committee and Law Department for further study and report. Is there a discussion on the motion? Counselor Graves?
Thank you, President. I appreciate what Councilor Walsh said about issues that the Finance Committee would look into. I agree with all of those. I would add to that also, though, that evidently the city didn't use the procurement statute to get bids. I have a letter from the mayor, which I don't know why the old stuff wasn't included in today's packet. We only had one updated letter in today's packet. I think we should have had the other stuff that was given to us back in January as well. But he had mentioned that there was a lowest bid, and that's how he came up with a number of $265,000. And I just think that we should have complied with the procurement statute since we knew about it in December. And here we are halfway through February, and now we're going to take even more time. Seems to me we could have complied with that statute. And I think instead we had accessed Section 8 of that statute, which provides for if there's an emergency present, you don't have to follow the letter of the law, so to speak. So the reason why we have a procurement statute is so that the taxpayers get the best price possible for the services that we're obtaining. And I think that since this is going to cost us so much, and I think all of us know that it's going to be more than $265,000. It's going to end up being probably closer to $500,000, I think. So I would just like to see, if we can, to follow the Chapter 30B. Thank you. Thank you, President Kaczynskis.
Thank you, Counselor. Can we all just be sure to mute our microphones if we're not talking, please?
It's my dog.
Oh, okay. Counselor Hardern.
Yes. I agree with Counselor Walsh, but I have just a concern I have is that considering the condition of this building, which is both a safety and a health issue, I believe, maybe we thought of quartering off this building in case it falls. I mean, if that falls, we have a big catastrophe on our hands. You've got the road there. You've got a home on one side, business on the other. I don't even know at this point if it is the city's responsibility to do that, but it's just a concern of mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? Counselor Boone?
Yeah, just wanted to point out too that is a state highway in that area, because there was a concern that, well, it's possible that it'll fall on the roadway, but that is the Route 68 state highway in that area. Just wanted to point that out. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Counselor Boone. Any further discussion?
Madam President,
Mayor Nicholson?
thank you very much. I am fine with this item being referred back to the Finance Committee. I have no objections to that. I think it's good to get all the answers out to the public for questions councilors have. We did reach out to DOT about Councilor Boone's concern. They did let us know that while it is a state numbered road, it is maintained by the city. Also, Chapter 30B does not allow us to go through the formal bidding process until an appropriation has been made by the appropriation authority, which in our case is the city council. So until an appropriation is made, we are actually not legally allowed to go out for the formal procurement process. That's why the emergency appropriation part of the statute allows for that way around that to just collect quotes and get an appropriation based off of that. So even if we were to go through the formal bidding process, we would not be allowed to do that until a final appropriation is made by the council for that. I just wanted to answer that question because that was raised. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Nicholson. Any further discussion? The clerk will please call the roll.
Counselor Boone,
Yes.
Counselor Boudreaux,
Yes.
Counselor Craig Cormier,
Yes.
Counselor Ronald Cormier,
Yes.
Counselor General Lowitz,
Yes.
Counselor Graves,
Yes.
Counselor Harder,
Yes.
Counselor Tyros,
Yes.
Counselor Walsh,
Yes.
President Kazinskas.
Yes,
It's 10 yeas.
motion passes. There are no petitions, applications, communications, etc. Reports of standing committees, Public Service Committee, item 10394, a petition by National Grid and Verizon New England Incorporated to install one jointly owned pole on Minka Drive beginning at a point approximately 485 feet south of the center line of the intersection of West Broadway and Minka Drive and continuing approximately 17 feet in an east direction, installing one jointly owned pole in the public way of Minka Drive for commercial service of 440 West Broadway. This was referred to the Public Service Committee on February 1st. We also had our public hearing on this item earlier this evening. Councilor Boudreaux?
Hi, Madam President. Thank you. The Public Service Committee respectfully requests more time. It was requested by the department head at the DPW that the meeting be postponed due to the winter weather that we did have that day. We will have it prior to our next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Boudreaux. If there are no objections, the committee will be granted more time. Councilor Walsh?
I just wanted to say the plan that was submitted is not endorsed by the city engineer. In the past, we've always had those plans submitted, approved, and there was some suggestion that the pole that they want to install is going to be on a public way, is going to be on the public way, and it may not be, may be in an innocuous location on the public way, but just want to be sure that if the Public Service Committee can have the city engineer look at the map to ensure that it's the proposed location is properly located.
Through the president to Councilor Walsh, absolutely. I'll make sure to ask that question when we meet.
Thank you, Councilor. Thank you, Councilor. Unfinished business and matters for reconsideration. There is none. Moving into new business. Councilor Harden.
Nothing this week, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Boudreaux.
Nothing really this evening. I'd like to thank the DPW for all they've been doing as of late. We've been hit with a couple wintry storms. Also, living right next to the PACC has been marvelous, just watching how everyone is coming together from all over the place. Haywood, the city, even down to different people volunteering. It's been an awesome thing to watch, and I thank everyone that's involved in that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Dernalowitz.
Nothing this evening, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Boone.
Yeah, I just want to add to what Councilor Boudreaux said and also appreciate the PACC for being the club that allowed this to happen. And that's all I have. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Graves.
Nothing this evening. Thank you, President Kazinskas.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Tyros.
Nothing new this evening. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Craig Cormier.
I have nothing this evening. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Walsh.
Yes, I just want to compliment and commend all those involved in the implementation of the vaccination programs that we've had here in the city so far. As we know, they're all ongoing and they're subject to availability of the vaccine itself. But the coalescence of a variety of different groups to make what we've done so far such a success, I think is a great tribute to the people of our city and in the region. In particular, I want to commend Mayor Nicholson for his efforts at keeping everybody notified of what services for vaccination are available, when they'll be, keeping us notified about those aspects of the programs. And I think it's just a good thing that we're doing, and I'm sure it'll continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Ron Cormier.
I have nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. I would also like to say thank you to Haywood Healthcare, Gardner City Hall, the Gardner Health Department, and the Community Volunteer Vaccination Team for doing an absolutely fantastic job managing the COVID-19 vaccination clinic that is being held here in Gardner at the Polish American Citizens Club. I spoke with Mayor Nicholson today to share with him some of the positive feedback that I have received from constituents, because I do think that this has just been managed extremely well. And also it's good for them to hear, because I know that this process has been something that has been completely put on the cities and towns to do their own small clinics. And he said, Mayor Nicholson said that over half of the appointments are still open for the COVID-19 vaccination clinic being held this Thursday, February 18th. And so I'd like to share a little more information on how to sign up for those available appointments. Again, the clinic is being held this Thursday, February 18th at the Polish American Citizens Club, or the PACC, here in Gardner. Appointments are currently for individuals in the phase 1 category designated by the state, and those age 75 years and older. So if you are eligible, you can register online on the city's website at www.gardner-ma.gov by clicking on the COVID-19 button at the top of the page and following the steps on the registration form. Online registration is available 24 hours per day. And a second way to register for this clinic this Thursday, February 18th, is by calling the call center at 978-630-8304 between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday, February 17th. And also, the mayor's office has been getting a lot of questions about the recent announcements that Massachusetts will allow vaccinations at certain sites for younger companions and caregivers who accompany older residents to vaccine appointments. This guidance does not apply to smaller sites like the clinic here in Gardner. It is only available at the state's mass vaccination sites at Fenway Park in Boston, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Eastfield Mall in Springfield, and the Doubletree Hotel in Danvers. The state is closely monitoring the vaccine supply here in Gardner, as well as all the cities and towns. And the clinic in Gardner continues to vaccinate patients according to the guidelines set by the state. So at this time, vaccinations can only be offered to individuals in phase 1 and those age 75 and older, which again is in accordance with those state guidelines. So I just wanted to give that information in that brief announcement, because I had also received questions and some concerns about the younger companions and caregivers accompanying older residents. But again, that does not apply to the smaller clinics like the one that we have here in Gardner. So with that, I will entertain a motion on the floor to adjourn after the closing prayer. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Councillor Dernelowitz, seconded by Councillor Boone. The clerk will please call the roll.
Councilor Boone,
Yes.
Councilor Boudreaux,
Yes.
Councilor Craig Cormier,
Yes.
Councilor Ronald Cormier,
Yes.
Councilor Dernelowitz,
Yes.
Councilor Graves,
Yes.
Councilor Harder,
Yes.
Councilor Tyros,
Yes.
Councilor Walsh,
Yes.
President Kusinskis,
Yes,
10 yeas.
the motion carries. Please rise for the closing prayer. Almighty Father, who seest over all, as we adjourn, we thank thee for the opportunity of joint deliberation and action witnessed during the course of this meeting. Bless, O Lord, all who are gathered here, and the people whose representatives we are, and do thou attend to our common welfare until our next meeting. Amen.
Amen.
The meeting stands adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Good night.
Later.
Good evening.